And now, the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful Saturday, no matter where you are, because when you see your face looking back at you in the mirror, it is always a good day. I'm Aaron Phillips, coming to you from Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is the East Coast affiliate of WWDB TV. Joining me on screen there, as you see, I know we may look like twins. We look a lot alike. It may be the hairline thing. But today, joining me on the show is a good friend. Recently met him a couple of months ago via Facebook. We've had some lunch and conversations. And I say he's a good friend because we have so much in common as we met. Keith Robertson joins me today. He is a managing partner for a company called 12 Stone Consulting, which is all about helping businesses succeed in many different facets. We'll get to all of that stuff in a little bit. But good morning, Keith. Thank you for joining me today, sir. How are you?
Hey, Aaron. Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm doing well. Definitely excited about this,
Good. Well, you look good. You look cheery. It's another Saturday. It's 11 a.m. here, 8 a.m. to everybody on the Pacific Coast, my other roots out there. First of all, let me thank everybody for tuning in here on Facebook. If you're watching us here on the Aaron's Hour show page, thank you very much. You can also go over to WWDB TV Las Vegas's Facebook page. If you don't want to watch on Facebook, that's okay. You can go to YouTube and watch us live. You can go to the Aaron's Hour show page on YouTube or WWDB TV on YouTube. Or if in a couple of days you want to watch it again, you can still go to those 4 other landing sites. But if you like additional internet streaming services, if you have Roku, download WWDB TV to your channel. And not only will you be able to catch all of my shows, Kiwanis Connects, Doing It with Styles, Thoughts Count Anywhere, you name it, the plethora of options you have available are plentiful. Check it out. If you want to call, which I hope you do today, because Keith is going to give you a lot of information. And if you have any questions about your business and how we can utilize his company to help your business, call in the show, 702-992-3207. Hey, you can also share the link by going right now. If you're down in Facebook, watching us in the chat room, just go to that little arrow that's in the left-hand corner of the chat room. That's a share. Click that, put it on your Facebook wall for me. Let people see what we're doing here, because not only are we going to be talking to Keith, I got news and highlights from Vegas. I got news and highlights here in the local area. We're going to have some good time today. So things are happening. John is back there in Vegas. A quick hello to John. How are you, sir? Pop in there. Give us a hello. Pick yourself up off the ground. No? Okay. Hi there. How are you?
I'm outstanding. How you?
Doing all right. As always, come inside then if you're outstanding. So it's always easier and cooler. See, he also took the cue there, Keith, because you notice his background. He got out of the library room and he put his Doing It with Styles background up, because John also hosts a show on his own network. Imagine that. So he's up there.
Yeah, because it's mine and I can do whatever I want.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Thank you, John. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Goodbye. There you go. All right. Keith, man, how are you? Listen, we chatted during the week. We've been chatting a lot. What's going on in your world today? What's your plans for this weekend? Let's talk relaxation. Talk to me.
Well, my family is actually at a what happened there?
No, we're good.
Yeah, something came in. Hey, but it's actually homecoming for Norfolk State University, and we normally go to the parade each year.
Okay.
Hey, I had other plans, man. I'm here with you.
Oh my goodness! Well, I don't know. Should I be ducking for your wife sending me like nasty emails or something? You took Keith away from me for the parade.
No, I think she's fine, man. I took her down there early this morning and connected with my daughters and the grandkids, man, and they're fine. Yeah, they're fine.
Good. Well, at least the weather's great today here in Virginia. Virginia Beach.
Fantastic, yeah.
Low 70s is what's going to be the high. Although I'm wearing a hockey jersey. I don't know why, because I didn't want to put on a Yankee jersey after them losing in 10th inning with a walk-off grand slam. God almighty. Anyway, so I'm thinking hockey. So I don't know. That's what I grabbed out of the closet today. So this is the part of the show there, Keith, where you're just going to kind of tag along with me, because I like going over news and notes from stuff back in Vegas and here in Virginia Beach, just to let the world know what's going on. Because after all, this is an international show, Keith. I don't know if you've ever had an opportunity to talk to the world. Have you?
No, this is the first time. Hello,
well,
world.
There you go. There you go. Hi, world. Exactly. That's all you need to. Hey, world, I'm out here. Very good. All right, John, you know what time it is. It's time for Vegas and Wrap 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right. Thank you, Batgirl, for that wonderful introduction. All right. Let's start with some Vegas news and highlights. Now, of course, Formula One is coming up in about a month there in Vegas, year number 2 of a 10-year commitment. And I'll tell you what, Keith, you know, for the amount of money and things that there was projected to come in last year when they had the first year out there, you would have thought a revolution would have started, because there is no resident there in Las Vegas that really is happy that Formula One comes in, because of what they have to do to the roads on the strip, around the strip, to create a 3.2 or 3.5 mile track. And of course, about a month ago, they've already started tearing up roads again to put things in place. So just for everybody who's out there, who's going to be going out there perhaps over the next, I don't know, couple of weeks, here's some travel and construction news and things that you really should be aware of out there. Lane restrictions will take place on Las Vegas Boulevard. These are called the Las Vegas Boulevard work zones. This is from 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. from now until November 8th. 2 lanes will alternate northbound and southbound on the boulevard between Reno Avenue and Bellagio Drive for utility adjustments and striping. Now through November 1st, 1 lane is open westbound on Harmon Avenue at Las Vegas Boulevard to the Cosmopolitan parking garage entrance for paving and storm drain work. Woof. From 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., now through November 1st, 2 lanes are open northbound on the boulevard from Russell Road to Four Seasons Drive, also for water line work. Now, starting next Saturday, November 3rd through Friday, November 15th, 1 lane will be open northbound on Las Vegas Boulevard from Clark County 215, which is the one of the highways there, to Sunset Road for water line work. Now, Keith, when was the last time you were? Have you been? I know you've been to Vegas. When was the last time you were there?
Man, I was in my 20s, man.
Oh, so that was what, about a week ago?
About a month.
About a month, right? Exactly.
Several.
So,
yeah.
The area that they're sort of talking about is where the Tropicana Hotel used to stand. They just knocked it down 2 weeks ago because of some baseball team in Oakland that, for some ungodly reasons, decided to move to Las Vegas. And the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana, right next to the airport, is where they decided that they want to build a 35,000-seat baseball stadium. Wow. They may not say that this is part of that, but I got to imagine that it is in some way, as well as Formula One. Now, on Tropicana, there are some work zones from 8:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. now through Friday, November 8th. Alternating 2 lanes are open westbound and eastbound on Tropicana Avenue from the Boulevard to Koval Lane for utility adjustments and striping. So, yeah, good luck with all of that construction there, folks. So here's the thing. For the longest time when all this was announced, putting that baseball stadium where they're talking about is the most ridiculous thing that anybody could ever do. Now, you've got Allegiant Stadium down the road. You got T-Mobile Arena for the hockey games and basketball and all that. That's sort of catty corner to where they are. But we always had this vision, 7:05 first pitch, right? And the right, literally where this is maybe a quarter of a mile, third of a mile from the main highway, Route 15, to the location of where the Tropicana used to be. 5 o'clock rush hour starts.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's going to try to get on the highway to get home and then get off at the Tropicana exit off 15, because why? People want to get to the stadium early, 6 o'clock, tailgating, get in, get autograph. Man, those, I'll tell you what, traffic reporters, they're going to be earning their money during baseball season 82 times trying to control and report on the traffic out there. It's going to be obnoxious. Absolutely. All right. Here's a great milestone reached by these folks. A Las Vegas charity celebrates, now folks, listen to this number, 100 million miles of helping families access medical. Good morning, Chief. I see you out there, my friend. This past Thursday, miracle flights. Many cities have miracle flights. These are the helicopter rides or transportation to transport young children, or really any patient, but geared towards young children, to get to a medical facility if your local area does not have it. Miracle Flight started in 1985, celebrated its 100th mile flown. The nonprofit provides free commercial flights for children and their families to access medical care far from home. It started with humble beginnings in Las Vegas, and they were first called Angel Flights. They provided small charter flights to hospitals before becoming the only national nonprofit headquartered in Las Vegas. They have provided more than 150,000 free flights to families in need of life-saving medical care. Now, at the expense of not wanting to divulge the family that was mentioned in this story, there is a family where their child is in the process and was in the process of being flown up to Salt Lake City. The flight will cross its 100 millionth mile mid-flight before landing in Salt Lake City this past Thursday, where the young child will be receiving specialized oncology care. So congratulations to Miracle Flights. Thank you for doing what you do. 100 million miles. Think about that. That's almost as many Big Macs as Ray Kroc's McDonald's is giving out nowadays. Although that may slow down if you don't like, if you like onions on your quarter pounders, based on the news the last couple of days.
Absolutely.
Did you hear about that? Bad onions?
Man, I did. It was like they cooked the meat at 160 degrees, right? I'm like, it had to be the onions. Okay, what else could it have been,
Exactly.
What did it give to the stock, though?
That's a good question. Well, that's your wheelhouse, my friend. Maybe during the commercial break, you can look that up and see what happens. All right, last thing from Vegas before we switch to a couple of news items here on the East Coast. The All-American Rejects and Plain White Tees will be joining the Neon City Festival lineup. If you're a fan of early 2000s alternative pop rock bands like the Plain White Tees or the All-American Rejects, you'll get a chance to see them live at the Neon City Festival. The Neon City Festival is going to be held downtown Friday, November 22nd through Sunday, November 24th. This is Neon City's Festival's first ever lineup with the All-American Rejects and Plain White Tees. The Neon City Festival is open and free to all ages and will offer food and drink specials from local Las Vegas restaurants and bars. There'll be laser art shows, a fireworks show, block parties, festivals, and more. Simply go online and search Neon City Festival for all your tickets are free, but for all your activities. Okay, locally, let's talk about some good stuff locally. Kellam High School. Now, you grew up in the area, right, Keith?
I did.
And you, for our audience, let them know what part of Virginia Beach in this area you're from.
Sure. I'm actually, I grew up in Chesapeake, Virginia, but right now I live in Green Run area in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Yeah, absolutely.
And you played ball while you were in high school and college and stuff too, didn't you?
No, I didn't play ball here. No, I did not. No, in the military, I played. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Folks, you see him on the camera. Now I'm 6'1" when I'm standing. Keith looks like he might be about the same height as me, but let me tell you, what are you, about 6'4", 6'5"?
I'm 6'2".
Are you really?
6'2", yeah, man. Yeah.
It must have been a good hair day you had that day because you seem taller than 6'2".
Yeah, I'm bigger. I'm bigger in life, man. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Yeah. I like that. So I want to send out a congratulations to Kellam High School because they won the top award at the Panther Band Classic. The first time was Battle of High School Bands. It was the first time the Marching Knights from Kellam High School in Virginia Beach, they were named the top overall band at the 10th annual Panther Band Classic at Pasquotank County High School last weekend. The Kellam Marching Knights were awarded the Memorial Milton H. Sawyer Grand Champion Trophy after their first ever performance in the annual band competition. According to Nick Stanley, Director of Bands at the Pasquotank County High School, 13 bands from across the region in Virginia participated in the event, which was attended by about 1,500 people. So congratulations to the Marching Knights of Kellam High School. Love that. Entertainment news, Point Break Festival will be returning to Virginia Beach Oceanfront. Be on the lookout for notices for pre-sale tickets. They'll be available soon. Point Break Festival is returning to the Oceanfront. Organizers for the Reggae Festival, which debuted at the Oceanfront just this year, says the next festival will take place June 21 and June 22nd. If my calendar calculations are correct, that might just be Father's Day weekend on the 2025 calendar. But June 21 and 22, pre-sale tickets, visit Point Break, blah, blah, let me try that again. PointBreakFestival.com. You get all the information for pre-sale. Buy your tickets will be available for purchase this upcoming Tuesday. So October 30th, you can get your pre-sale tickets. Last year's festival was headlined by Sublime, Wiz Khalifa, and Stephen Marley. And as of right now, an official lineup hasn't been announced, but will be announced on the website. So again, go check that out. Last but not least, and for this story, and we were talking about this before we went live on the air, and John, when you have a moment, I'd love for you to join in here. Locally in Norfolk, American Legion Post 37 is a century-old post, which hopes the community can help them continue operating. Recently, Commander Alonzo Scott said Post 37 is experiencing some tough times financially. He explained the membership is down 20%, which means they're not bringing in enough money with dues. He also added that the cost of the rent in their building has also gone up. They have only about $4,000 left in their account to get them through the end of this year. They're in the process of putting together their food banks and food giveaways, where they give away about 4,000 pounds of food per year to the community, not just to American Legion veteran families, post and otherwise. I want to bring this to light because, you know, as someone who's never been in the military, and I love and support military, past, present, future, and everything that I can do, I asked John to join us because if you've been following my tenure with John for all these years, many of you know that John is Marine, and I learned you never say former Marine.
That's right. Always a Marine.
That's right. John is a Marine. So I asked John because I want to get, and I know Chief is out there watching too. And so, Chief, if you want to chime in with this either in the chat room, please feel free to. John, talk about, if you could, for our audience, what the value of an American Legion post or VFW post does, not just for the community, but for the veterans who want to take part of their resources and become part of them. Can you share some?
Yeah, but I have one quick question first. How old did you say this post was?
About 100 years old.
Okay, so they must have been one of the first in the country, because the American Legion was created by an act of Congress in 1919.
Well, there you go.
They're one of the largest VSOs, or veteran service organizations, in the world.
Okay.
And, you know, their focus is helping veterans families, the communities, and also big on helping prevent veteran suicide. So
they, I'm on their website. They chartered in 1920, sir.
Okay, so it was a year after they were, had to be one of the first in the country, man. Mm-hmm. So you got to get some money to those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, if they have to be one of the oldest, organizations, one of the first, and you can't let them go. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
yeah, you can go to their website at legionpost37va.org, and I'm on their landing page, and you can see some pictures there and where they're located. But quick synopsis. What they do: some of our primary roles are to assist veterans with VA claims, including medical and educational benefits, help veterans coordinate various types of aid with local agencies, and host food pantries for the local community. An accredited service officer is available to assist with VA claims on certain days of the week. So they also support 100% of the monies that they raise are given immediately back to the community. They are looking for help, folks. They only have about $4,000 of operating dollars. If they do not get help, plus they're also looking for a new location. They are currently located on the second floor of a Columbus Club building. And of course, for some of their veterans, getting up to that second floor may not be the easiest thing in the world to do. They're looking for support for possibly a new building, single story, as well as, of course, financial donations. At the bottom of their landing page, you can also, there's a great button on the bottom. Guess what it says? It says donate now. So you can click on that, make a small donation. Every dollar is going to help these people. And it's not, it's helping the community help these people, and these people to give back to the community. So please, folks, again, American Legion Post 37, their website, legionpost37va.org. Now, if you want to give them a call to talk to them, especially if you have information regarding maybe some new property, you can call them at area code 757-858-3600. 757-858-3985. That's 757-858-3985. The post is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And this is going to be a good segue as we get ready to go to our first break, because Keith, let me ask you, and I want you to answer this when we come back on the other side of the break. 12 Stone Consulting is a business consulting firm that one of the things that you can do with businesses is perhaps provide financial support. I want you to answer for me when we come back as to whether an American Legion would qualify as an entity that perhaps your company can offer some financial assistance, real estate assistance, and maybe we use them as our role play conversation today to help explain what 12 Stone Consulting does for businesses. Sound good?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Keith Robertson will be here to share his insight, and John will push all the buttons as we go to break. You're watching Aaron's Hour Coast to Coast. That's right. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
Note to self, Aaron Phillips has moved to Virginia Beach, and we need to update that commercial. And John mentioned that to me last week. Welcome back to Aaron's Hour, Coast to Coast. Aaron Phillips. Joining me today is Keith Robertson. He is managing partner of 12 Stone Consulting. Boy, I'll tell you, we watched that commercial last week. John said, you really need to update that. You're not in Vegas anymore. So he may have just run that to remind me that I need to do that. Anyway.
It is, sir.
Keith joins me today, and we were using so let's talk about 12 Stone Consulting and
Sure.
In a way, just briefly describe as we're going to use the American Legion Hall as part of our talking summary as a work testing a case. But what does 12 Consulting do for businesses? Let's just kind of talk generally about what the business does.
Wonderful. Well, we are a full service commercial brokerage firm. Okay. So the main focus of our business is the business owner and showing them how to, one, increase their cash flow, save money, reduce expenses, reduce their taxes. And then the biggest piece, or one of the other pieces, is, of course, it's about legacy, right? Being able to structure, the business in a facet that is able to be moved from one generation to the next. We're a consulting firm, right? So we actually consult businesses in these areas. Yes.
So what was, now, if you would, I want to backtrack a little bit only because I wanted the audience to get an immediate idea of what 12 Stone Consulting does. Sure. How did you get into this field? I always love hearing business owners with their aha moment. Talk about that if you would.
Well, years ago, man, I was in technology.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually a East Coast executive for a company called Thompson Communication, setting up reverse paths for the cable systems up and down the East Coast, but it was never here in Virginia. So, as I was married at an early age, was married at 23. And so my kids got a little older and I'm always away, I had to give that career up. So I came home and I worked for a local college here in the admissions department. And my mother at the time was doing a refinance. And I began to run these papers back and forth between her and the loan officer, man. And it was like I got bit by a bug, right? Got bit by the mortgage bug, man. Then I went into mortgages. I was trained, but because of the knowledge that I have from technology, I was always that answer guy. I always knew where to go to get answers. And then, everything went well. And I'm giving you the cliff notes here, because I don't want to be prolonged. So everything went well, you know. I mean, I went from being a loan officer to a senior loan officer to underwriting to managing to having my own brokerage firm. I mean, life was great, man. I had a brokerage firm down here in Virginia Beach, 15 loan officers. We were doing good business, you know.
Right.
I always believe in doing what's right for the customers. So that was kind of like my thing. You know, we actually, our slogan was financing is our business, but education is our passion, right? And so we always wanted to make sure the customer actually understood whatever type of financial direction they were in and where they were headed. They had a clear path. And so then the crash happened, dude. 2008, buddy.
Yep.
And you know, me being the person that I am, I had opportunity to sell my company, but I didn't sell my company because of the people that were working for me, to be honest with you, man. You know, people came into the industry with me. They left jobs they were on, you know, 20 plus years in some cases. You know? And I felt beholden to them. And so I kept my business. And as we saw the mortgage industry just going in this direction, one day I looked up and it was me, processor, underwriter, receptionist, and 15 empty offices.
Oh.
So yeah. So I mean, that wasn't a good thing, man. That wasn't a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
From there, you know, we pretty much, to be honest, in telling my story real briefly, you know, we went through a process where we lost everything, man.
Right.
You know, lost everything. I ran into the big boxes, SunTrust, Wells Fargo, managed the Bank of America for some years, man. Battled a depression, you know, some time. And so during that process, though, I never put my head down. No one knew what I was going through.
Right.
You know, because I'm that person, man. The glass is always half full. You know, I kept pressing through it and I persevered through it. And I got into commodities and brokerage type endeavors, you know. I mean, everything from gold to fuel to parabars, you know, various banking instruments. And I learned the back end of the financial system globally.
Gotcha.
You know, I really got an understanding of how banks worked. You know, I got an understanding how various financial tools worked.
Right.
You know, from there, I realized that, hey, I need to bring this information home, and we opened up 12 Stone. You know, we opened up 12 Stone from the standpoint of doing commercial loans at that point in time. You know, and so today, now I want to fast forward because it's a lot of other pieces in there, right? But I want to fast forward to today.
Right.
And so now today, the focus is, again, you know, increasing cash flow, right, for companies. We show companies how to create their cash flow. We're very innovative, finding out, you know, what is it that you're doing and what is it that you need for one to be able to bring in more customers, to have the leads, to create more business, you know, booking those customers, creating sales, and then repeat customers. You know, ultimately, the first, okay, here's what I said. We have 4 legs. Increase cash flow, showing customers how to get more customers, increasing their revenue. And then it's save money and reduce the expenditures that are going out in their company, right? We do that through systems and processes. What is systems? Save yourself time, money, and effort, right? Save yourself time, effort, and money. Systems, right? So that is what we do. And from there, we're looking at reducing taxes. We look at various tax strategies. I mean, I'll give you one right now. You know, if you have a business, you know, employee paid taxes, that helps reduce your employee taxes each month, right? Because it decreases the amount of employee income that actually has to be reported. So that reduces your taxes. And then if you're an individual, you know, you're a W-2 employee and you've been on the job for several years, go back and look at your W-9. You know, when you first went to that job and you filled out your W-9, maybe you need to make some adjustments there,
right? You
know, to bring more of that gross income towards your household, reducing, you know, increasing your net income.
Right.
Of course, the last piece of it, we call it the PPP, right? We have the position, protection, and the plan.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about position, that business has to be positioned properly, right? We show individuals how to position their business properly, and we use various forms of trust, and of course, also along with that, various type of insurance instruments as well.
Right.
So they're able to again move that business from one generation to the next seamlessly, and avoiding that all. And this is what a lot of people need to understand more about, and it's called probate. You want to protect yourself today, tomorrow, and your future. So hopefully that answered that question, man.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what it does is it lets my audience know that you didn't just sleep in a Holiday Inn Select last night to wake up today to do what you do. I mean, you have that foundation, in the banking world to be in a position to help other businesses. So let's go back to the American Legion Hall for our test case conversation. Now, I watch a show called Bar Rescue. I don't know if you watch the show or heard of it. I've
seen that. Yeah.
So it always amazes me that at the beginning of the show, before John Tapper walks in, and you hear the voiceover guys, so and so, they pull back the doors, bust open the books, and make a call for help, and he walks in, and you find out that the business is like a month away from closing. Okay. And he goes in and he spends all this money to renovate the bar, renovate the business, and hoping that within a month's time they can turn it around. Now, I've never owned a business that big. I'm not into that industry, but it would seem to me if you're losing $250,000 a year, 1 month is not necessarily going to be enough time to turn your business around and potentially save it. So I shared that concept as I prefaced my question regarding the American Legion. Here we are, basically November 1st next week, right? So we got November, December, got 2 months left. They have $4,000 left in their account. Is there a point when you look at a business that's in that type of situation? Is there anything that you could recommend to a business like that they can institute like almost immediately that literally can save their business from closing and immediately start increasing their cash flow to help save them in what basically is a 2-month window?
Well, every situation is specific to that business operation itself, right? So we would need to look at and see exactly where is that business today. The major players in the business, what is it that they're willing to do? What type of business structure is it? Is it a nonprofit or is it a business for profit? Have they filed, the required financials over the past couple years? And so we look at all that to see, what is most advantageous for that business. That is a broad question. It's kind of difficult to answer without knowing, the structure of that business. The bottom line is that, you have, it's about when you look at a business, right? You have two things. You have an input and an output. You have, product or services that is coming in, and then the output, you want it to be revenue. But in between that, you have a process, and this is where we come in. What does that process look like? What needs to be changed or updated or removed from that process, So
it would seem to me, they mentioned in that article that I shared that, membership is down, so therefore dues is down. And like any nonprofit organization like Kiwanis and Rotary and American Legions and all these organizations that try to do good things are membership-based run organizations. So just like they need members is no different than a business needing customers. Now, you mentioned during your comments about what your company does. The last number I saw was most businesses rely on 65% referral business or continuing business that is always there. And I've always said to businesses, I said, but that's great. And look, if you're making a good living and your business is thriving on 65% of the business base out there, what would it do if you only had 1% of the remaining 35%? So using, certain markets, and I want to try to say this delicately without upsetting anybody, but our veterans, unfortunately, are not living forever. And so just like in Kiwanis, when our membership starts waning, it's because our members are getting older, they're moving on, they're passing away or whatever, they're retiring, whatever it is. Well, in the veteran world, I got to imagine part of their membership issue is the fact that there just may not be as many veteran services, current, past, or otherwise, that are available to join and increase their membership. So what do you do in business situations like that? How do you target the right niche and the right demographic to get them new business? Any business, not just the Legion, but any business that is stuck on referrals only, because eventually those referrals will pass away and not be around anymore as current clients. I got to replace that business.
Man, that's a great question. So the first thing we actually look at is who is the customer? Who are you trying to reach? Get an understanding of that demographic. And then from there, what are the tools? Again, we're in the process, right? What are those tools that you're utilizing to try to reach those customers? And then what is your visualization online? That's the key. You will be surprised at how many businesses don't even have. I mean, I'm not talking about a website with the bells and whistles, but with just a plain website,
Right.
And then what mode or what mode of operation are you using to try to reach out to your past clients? Those are your C's. You've had people to come through your organization, through your business. What did you do with those C's? And then do you follow up? Do they even know you still exist?
Right.
Most importantly, do they know in a situation like this with this American Legion, do they know that you need money? How are you reaching out to your past members? That membership, you have a database of people there, right? What are you doing to try to reach out to them? Are you using various forms of technology? So, that's the first thing. Who is the customer? And then what are you doing right now to try to reach them? Yeah.
So what you're talking about is what I used to call a needs analysis. You sit down with the customer, you ask the questions to learn about the business and what they're doing to find the ways that you can help them. All right, before we go on to another business question, it's now time for a couple of curveballs, my friend, as I promised. So we're going to get off the business topic for a second or two because I want to ask you a question such as the following. Who is your favorite actor of all time?
Denzel Washington.
I think he's the one guy I get a lot of from everybody.
Well,
who's your favorite actress of all time?
Cicely Tyson.
Ooh, okay. Favorite all-time movie, so that when it comes on your streaming service or TV, you turn off your phone, you grab your favorite snack, the favorite adult beverage, you grab your significant other, you don't want to be bothered for 3 hours. That movie is what?
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, that was a great movie,
man.
Oh,
that got me through those dark times.
Yeah,
I watched that movie over and over again, man, and it instilled in me, that if that man was able to get through what he went through to achieve the level of success that he had in his life, I could do the same thing.
That was one of Will Smith's best performances as an actor in that movie, and his son was with him in that movie. If I'm not mistaken,
JD.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your favorite music genre?
Wow, man. Here's the thing, man. I grew up in the 70s, dude. I mean, back then we listened to everything.
That's right.
Real rock, not today's rock. I'm a hip hop head. I love the old hip hop, and then I love jazz. I grew up on but listen, I also love classical music, man. I just love music. It all depends on the mood. Really, it does, man. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me give you a scenario and paint you a mood. So you're driving in your car, you're coming up upon a red light, your all-time favorite song comes on the radio that you cannot help but start karaokeing to. You don't care what you look like to the neighbors in the cars next to you as you're trying to sing this song. What song is that for you?
You know what? I'm going to go hip hop. I'm going to say Friends.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that, man. That was the real one there with the Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right on. All right, we're going to stop there for a moment. We're going to take our last break of the show. This way we have a ton of time to wrap up on the back end. Listen, we only have about 20 minutes left already, my friend.
Oh, wow.
When we come back, we're going to get into some more specific suggestions and ideas about some of the things that Keith's company can provide, because I'm telling you, you need to reach out to Keith. You're watching Aaron's Hour Coast to Coast with Keith Robertson. I'm Aaron. John, push that button. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You. Stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right, welcome back. Okay, Chief, I love you, buddy. Chief is a longtime dear friend of mine back there in Vegas. Keith, he's in the chat room, and he answered my question about favorite all-time song, and his is "I've Got Sunshine." I've got sunshine. Motown, right? That was Motown.
Yeah.
Hey, real quickly, just a quick little live announcement. Next weekend, Wednesday, is the pairings party for the Lewis Burke First Annual Golf Classic in Orlando. Yours truly will be hopping on an airplane Tuesday night, heading down there to host the tournament. The pairings party is Wednesday. The tournament is Friday. This is a reschedule from the end of September when we had Hurricane Helene blow through Orlando. So I'll be heading down there Tuesday night for Wednesday. But the pairings party, we have celebrities coming who actually golf in these tournaments. We have Nick Anderson from the NBA, Anthony Bowie coming, Kenny Shaw from the NFL, Ray Hamilton from the NFL, pro wakeboarder, gunner draft, boxer Adrian Pinero. They're all going to be there at the pairings party. And the pairings party is open to the public. $25 per person gets you a free drink, food. Raffles will be available. Autographs, pictures. This is Wednesday, October 30th at the Guacamole Mexican Restaurant. Check it out at www.lewisburkegolfclassic.com. The nonprofit in support that funds are being raised for is an organization called the Verb Kind Foundation. They are a unique and powerful mentoring program that reaches the youth inside the walls of a juvenile detention center and gives them a second chance through mentoring, education, and connecting them with community resources. So if you're in and around that area on Wednesday next week, come on down, stop in, say hello to me. I'd love to see you down there. It is open to the public, and let's raise money for a great cause. Joining me today is Keith Robertson. He is a managing partner of 12 Stone Consulting. In a nutshell, good morning, Georgette. In a nutshell, 12 Stone Consulting is a company that's there to help a business get inside to basically help build a legacy of your business with future growth. Whatever the need is, Keith and his guys get in there knee deep, ask you all those tough questions that you probably don't really want to face or answer, that maybe are some roads that are blocked. There's some things in the road blocking, and that's what Keith does. So we were talking about American Legion Post 37. Now, as a nonprofit, would they be eligible for financial support if they were to reach out to you guys, like a loan or something? Are they eligible as a nonprofit or?
Mm-hmm. Well, just because they're a nonprofit, that doesn't necessarily disqualify them from getting the loan. Again, it's going to be based upon the leadership of that organization. It may be a situation where you need a guarantor. Churches. We do church loans as well. Many times it is someone in the congregation or the pastor has to step up and be the guarantor on the loan. So, it's about the specifics of that business, looking at their financials and the best plan.
All right. So I'm gonna change gears. Let's get off specific topics. I want to ask you about something that we have in our little cheat here. Common financial mistakes that businesses make, identifying and avoiding common. So that means when you go into different companies, big, small, left, right, up, down, whatever the company is, there's obviously some commonalities that businesses make financially. Give us like the one or two of them that are common that businesses should not be doing, but they do because it just happens.
Well, typically when a small businesses, you put together your business plan, that business plan is the perfect, all the I's have to be dotted and T's have to be crossed to get it through the financial scope. But when the business is operating, they begin to deviate from that business plan. right? And what happens a lot of times, once you deviate from your business plan, then you have to take shortcuts to try to bring yourself back on track, right? And sometimes these shortcuts are meant for short-term fixes.
Okay.
But yet, when you take those shortcuts, you stay in that position longer than you should. I'm gonna use one thing in particular, because there are a lot of different types of financial tools, right? And it's just like, hey, when you're on a golf course, right, and you're starting off, you're using your driver, right? I'm not a golf guy, but I believe it's a driver, right? Well, I know if you're putting, you use the putter, right? But yeah, driver. Okay, so listen. So the situation that I'm saying here, right? If you're in a business and you may be in a financial strain, right? So you need working capital. So you go to what's called a merchant cash advance loan. Now, it's not truly a loan. It's working capital, right? It's for a short-term fix. So this is to maybe you're needing to acquire some equipment or something to help you on a contract. Once that contract is done, you're able to pay this off. But they get into the situation where they get one, then they get another one, then they get another one. It's like a payday loan for a business.
Okay.
You get caught up in that genre. So I say that to say that you have to have a plan, right? And then you have to be held accountable to your plan. There's safety in the multitude of counsel. This is why you need someone like a business coach that can kind of look over your shoulder to kind of make sure that you stay on point. And another thing, something as simple as we're coming up on tax season, right? Understanding that, you want to write things off because you don't want to pay Uncle Sam, but I say render unto Caesar what's due Caesar.
Right.
You need to understand what is your financial plan for the future, because if you write off everything, you need to know how is it going to affect you in the coming 2 years, because everything is based upon a 2-year cycle when it comes to financing, right? You want to look at it and see, if I write off everything, what can actually, if I'm going to be looking to acquire something financial, I need to have my tax person needs to understand this. Okay.
Yeah.
Tax person needs to understand this, so they'll know what to write off. Because when you're going to get some type of financial endeavor done, we can add certain things back to your income. Yeah.
So I want to ask, you talked again in your bio to let everybody know you're big on technology.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you and I met for coffee the very first time, you and I were talking about the fun of AI and the future of AI and what that means for our society. But talk about leveraging the technology that's out there, if you would, to help a business with their financial health. What does that mean, and what could businesses do by leveraging technology? Give us some examples.
So again, this is the first thing that we actually look at with the business. We want to see exactly, what it is that they're doing from a marketing standpoint. What are you doing to acquire customers? How are you nurturing that customer, right? Because again, we talked about return customers, and what do you have in place for that? Something as simple as this, right? Here's a what we call a hack, what we bring in. So how many times have you, let's say, hey, midsummer, your AC goes out. What do? You grab the phone book, or you go to Google, right? And you just find out who can assist me. You're calling, trying to get assistance, right? You're calling, no one picks up this phone. You're going to go on to the next guy. But when you have certain tools put in place, you're able to, when you call that customer or that company and you're going on to the next person, and that customer or that company has certain tools in place that before you go on to the next customer or the next company, they'll get a text. Okay. Hey, I saw you just called me. How can I help you? Now you engage with that customer, and you didn't lose that customer. Can you think about restaurants? How many times you've tried to call lunchtime and you went on to someone else because no one picked up? But when they're able to continue that conversation along with a text message, that is just something to add on to the book. And then we have something called Google. Google now is trying to keep companies in Google. They don't want you to go out into other resources. They want you to stay in Google. Now there's a Google My Business. A lot of companies don't know about Google My Business. Okay. Google My Business has a chat feature. Even you may be registered with Google My Business and you see the chat feature, but you'd be surprised how many companies don't even know how to actually go in and see how to review the chats. How to communicate with that customer. If you're in there and you Google a company and you see that chat feature, more people want to communicate via chat than actually talking to a person now anyway. It's kind of reversed a bit where, a lot of people say, I want to talk to a live person. These millennials, they want to talk. They want to, hey, it's about time. Let me go ahead and chat, and you're able to chat and you're able to have that conversation. Now you take that conversation with you because that conversation is now on your cell phone where you don't have to stay there in front of your computer. So those are just a couple things.
Let's everybody watching, you could see in the background there the name of the company, 12 Stone Consulting. That also happens to be the website, 12stoneconsulting.com.
That's correct.
It is a ton of information out there, folks, and I encourage you to get out there, surf it, but take your time going through the plethora of information that's on that website. How can people, now I'm sure there's contact information on there, but what's the best way for folks maybe to get a hold of you directly or communicate with you? What's the best way that we can get folks to you?
Sure. If you want to reach out via email, you can email info@12stoneconsulting.com, or you can give me a call at 757-335-6772.
Okay, give that number again.
757-335-6772.
Okay, very good. So reach out, kid. Now you're also on Facebook for those who love tooling on Facebook as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I actually do a podcast each week called Unlocking Your Legacy.
Okay.
On Facebook as
Talk
well
about
as.
that.
I'm sorry.
Talk about that. What is it you talk about on that?
Okay, so again, I really believe that a lot of individuals and business owners aren't in position to leave their legacy to the next generation. And how is it done? That's the key component. You have to protect your assets. A lot of people don't understand about trust. I mentioned about probate a moment ago.
Yep.
And if you ever been through probate, man, it's not it's not it's not something that I would wish upon my worst enemy, to be honest with you, man, because it's very stressful. It's very stressful, and it can be very costly as well.
My wife's side of the family, her mom and some cousins are actually going through that right now for 3 years. It's still proceeding right now. The passing of a family member, 3 years. So yeah, it's not fun, folks. That's for sure.
Yeah, but let me say this too. Okay, so what happens if their business owner or the head of the family becomes incapacitated?
Right.
They're in a car accident. They're incapacitated. What if the wife, the next go-to person is the wife, right?
Yep.
But what if she was in the car and she's incapacitated? What happens then? You want you're a child or a loved one, and you need to help the family, pay bills. How do you do that? You don't have access to the bank. Even if you have a POA. You need what's called a durable power of attorney, so you can continue on those helping that family or paying or having access to various things that you wouldn't, when that person is incapacitated. You have to put things in place as a family, as a business. You need your wills in place. You need your power of attorney in place. You need your medical director in place. You need the durable power of attorney in place. Then you need a trust. If you have multiple properties. You're an investor. You have those properties in your own name. Do you have any liabilities to those properties? What if someone walked across the lawn and fell, or came into your establishment and fell, and then they sued you?
Right.
And if you don't have things properly protected, then they come after your personal assets. But
I want to let my audience know, and this is more of a just disclaimer to protect myself and Keith. Keith is not a certified accountant. He's not a CPA, right? You don't have any of those.
Let me throw my disclaimer out.
Go ahead, go for it. I thought about it earlier, just never came out of my mouth.
I'm actually meant to say that. So this is not investment advice, okay? We're not talking about investment advice. This is for educational purposes only. Please, and anything that you hear on this show that I'm talking about, sit in front of a professional and get specific directions for your own situation, okay? Because everybody's situation is totally different.
That's right. That's right. Take notes down to some of the things we're talking about as say, you know what, I should ask my accountant or ask or find an attorney. So I'm glad I had that in my head at the bottom of the hour saying we should probably do a disclaimer, and it just never came out till that moment.
I Trust me, I did. Yeah.
No worries. All right, we have a couple of minutes left. So before we wrap up on the business side, it's time for some of my softball questions for you. What is your bucket list vacation that you have that you'd like to do someday?
Okay, Hawaii.
Okay,
Hawaii.
Good.
Yeah.
What is your favorite meal, top to bottom, starting with appetizer to dessert?
Ooh, okay, man. So I'm a salad guy, man. I love fruits and vegetables, man.
Okay.
So, and then I'm a pretty simple guy, Aaron. I really am, man. You know, I'm gonna go in for appetizer, maybe a tortilla soup, maybe. Then any variants of salad, you know, and then some probably some grilled salmon, and probably maybe some asparagus, you know, and then try to stay down, you know, don't want the carbs. So I would love to have the potatoes, right? Some type of potatoes in there, but I want to stay off the carbs. You know, maybe a sweet potato, maybe maybe that, and sweet tea to go with the drink, and then something as far as dessert, something chocolate.
Now that's
pudding, you know.
You could have skipped everything. Once you said chocolate, I'm there. So, all right, couple more questions. I'll let you get off the hook. If a movie were made about your life, who would you like to see play you in that movie, Keith?
Ooh, Denzel Washington's son. I can't think of his name. His son, yeah, man.
You know who I see? Did you ever watch a show, This Is Us, on NBC about the family that the two brothers, one was adopted, and the sister. Randall, the actor who played Randall, one of the adopted son, and I can't think of his actor's name, but that's who I can see. Almost, you literally could be twins, you and him. That's who popped into my head. But Denzel, based on your answer earlier, it's kind of the answer that I expected. All right. Favorite superhero, Batman or Superman? And in case you need a hint, let me help you as to what the right answer might be on this show.
Okay, Batman.
All right, good answer. No, seriously. Favorite superhero, Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Why?
Well, because we all have that superpower within ourselves, just like Emerson said, you know, you're the man or woman that you decide to become, you know. So mind over matter, mindset, tool set, skill set leads to assets.
Right on. Oh, I love it. Last question, really the only real serious one that I kind of get. When the day comes that you're standing in front of the pearly gates many, many, many years from now, when the maitre d' is there to greet you at the pearly gates, what is it you want to hear the maitre d' say to you upon entering?
Come on in. Well
there
done.
You go. Short and simple and sweet. I love it. All right, we have about a minute or two left. So give us about a 30 to 45-second recap about 12 Stone Consulting, why they should reach out to you to help them with their business.
Well, yeah, reach out to us because we can actually see what it is that your business is needing, right? First of all, we're going to do a free analysis of your business to see what's missing. And then we're going to give you the tools that are in the innovation that's going to help you get more customers, save money, reduce your expenditures, reduce your tax obligations, and then position you through various trust and insurance contracts so you can move your inheritance on to the next generation and position it in a way that the next generation can move it to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Legacy.
There's nothing better than legacy to be built for the family. All right, Keith, thank you for spending time with me today. I appreciate that you sacrificed time with the family at the parade today. Please tell your wife many thank yous for me. I'll owe her dinner. We'll go out for dinner one night so I can make it up to her. How's that?
Sound like a plan. But hey, well, thank you so much for having me, Aaron.
My absolute pleasure. All right, before we go, folks, just a little programming note. Next Saturday's show, I will be emanating from Orlando. My guest that day will be Lewis Burke. He's the attorney down there that's behind the first annual Lewis Burke Attorney. And we will have a representative from the Verb Kind Foundation. That'll be the recipients of the tournament that I'm going down there to host. They will be on the show next week. Plus, I'm excited to announce not one, but two brand new show sponsors that you'll see their stuff starting next week. One of them, Sweet Peas Bakehouse and Novelty Sports Arts, coming up. They're starting next week. If you're a football fan, if you have rivalry as in football, both NFL or college, you'll love to see what Novelty Sports does. And if you love gluten-free, dairy-free muffins and cakes and cookies, well, my folks, Sweet Peas Bakehouse, love them. They'll be introduced to the world next week as part of Aaron's Hour next week. So thank everybody for watching. Again, Keith, give them a call. 12stoneconsulting.com is the website. 757-335-6772. And if you can't use his company, then please share his information with somebody you may know that could use his support and knowledge and help their business. With that, everybody, wishing you a great weekend. Don't forget, next weekend, in case I forget to mention it, don't forget to adjust your clocks. Next Saturday, we do fall back. Yankees lost a tough one last night. That's okay. It's only one game. Game 2, I believe, is tonight. We'll come back to New York, tied at 1-1. With that, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Be safe on Halloween. We'll see you next time right here on Aaron's Hour. Thank you for watching. Take care.